Young Goodman Brown Studios. This is the third annual Young Goodman Brown Power Rankings video. It's the pleasure's mine, fellas. I'm sitting here with the three-time champ, as we already know, my co-host, Juan Heffrey, and I'm sitting here with our new vice president of the Fantasy Football League, Mr. Sean Minji. Welcome to the chat.
Good to have you. Good to have you, Minj.
Thank you, Kamish. Thank you, Kamish.
It's long overdue. Champ. It's long overdue. We got you in here, and we're just glad you're a part of it. And we think you can bring some strong insight to what we're talking about this week, and I'd like to see what you have to say.
Agreed. Happy to be here.
All right. So first segment, we're gonna change it up a little bit. I'm going to show my fellow general managers here some pictures, just get their first reaction on what they think when they see these images that pop on the screen. So the first image, let me see if I can get this working right. Let's toss this one up here and let's see what you say. Can you see what I'm seeing?
I mean, I can, yeah, I'll start here. This is the toe. This is Uncle Tony. This is a piece of Uncle Tony that was separated recently. I mean, it's the toe and Uncle Tony and the toe for years, and here we are. An ugly divorce, as I said last week.
And that's what I want to get into. And Midge, what are your feelings after you dump one of your strong pieces and he puts up a performance like that? I mean,
it's just fantasy, man. There's nothing you can really do about that. You drop a player after. Oh, thanks for zooming in. He injures his hamstring. I believe he had one target. Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins getting a lot of love on that offense. So I dropped him, and he comes back the next week with, I believe, 11 targets, 8 catches. Buck picked him up quicker than I could even check the waiver wire. So,
and it was, I think it was a $10 pickup too. So, he really spent.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't have paid that.
eight catches for 96 yards, coming in at 17.6 points. Tough to see after just a release.
He definitely heard you loud and clear on what happened, and I'm sorry it had to happen the way it happened, but
hey, one man's trash, another man's treasure.
That's what they say, isn't it?
You need a kick in the ass, And
a change of scenery. A change of scenery probably it does wonders for people. So I'm glad to see him. He woke up finally. All right, on to the next image. Let's see what we got. Okay. And what do you see?
I see the art of the deal. Bernie Madoff, Enron, great run for a while, and then it all came crashing down.
Well, Bernie Madoff was not associated with Enron. That's two big frauds that did happen, separate frauds, but this man right here, he Midge, do you know anything about Bernie Madoff?
I really had no idea that guy was when you pulled him up on me.
So Bernie Madoff ran a Ponzi scheme. He was a Ponzi scheme artist. He screwed people out of millions of dollars. And, I just associate this. Look at this guy. I associate that
of one of the GMs in our league.
Yep. Those lenses, I've seen those lenses before. I kind of see similarities in the nose too.
The face shape. Yeah.
The lack of emotions that go into the dealings that this man did with other people's money and how he treats other people. He feeds off the poor and just he continues to take, but he never wants to give, and it's disappointing, but
the art of the deal.
That's my boy Donnie. So it's two separate guys. Two guys, but Geff, I'm disappointed. You did another thing dirty this week. You fed off somebody who hasn't been watching football. He's been out in the mountain ranges of Sierra Nevada. He's been who knows what he was reading. I don't know what he was reading. He thinks Mikey Dobbs is going to step in and become a factor for his team. I don't know. Shoulder shrug. That's all we got to say. All right, and I got one more for you, fellas. You recognize this face?
What does that say on his chest? Zoom back down. Oh God.
God,
Miss
dude.
Allen's cuckold property.
Look at those tits. Look at those tits.
That's so nasty.
A lot of pressure in there.
Let me pull something else up for you
What
guys.
the fuck, dude?
This is just a little pleasure for the people
Dude,
who are watching.
No, dude, this is fucked.
He's lighting something, so I'll stop it right there. It's enough.
Jesus Christ.
That's my good friend Norman Somerton. If you have some spare time, give him a ring, give him a look.
Dude, you seem to have a weird affinity towards him. What's up?
He's a friend of mine.
What's up?
I keep in contact. He's Canadian. He's a Canadian man. Yeah.
Close contact, boys.
I wouldn't say close contact, but I just I make sure he's doing all right. He's got some odd tattoos and some odd habits.
I'm officially worried about our commissioner.
What was that website that like people did those like disturbing things like smash their nuts on the table and stuff?
It's Paint Olympics.
Yeah, that was it. That reminded me of that video.
All right. So that does it for the picture challenge. And so after that, we will go right into our power rankings. This week's power rankings were done by our good friend. Well, we obviously communicated a little bit beforehand. But mainly this is the VP's power rankings and who he thinks is at the top, who he thinks is at the bottom. So I'll let you start it off, Minge.
A strong list. A strong power ranks, my bad.
Yeah, got to start it off. Not happy to say it. This team got even more help this week. Like, guys, we got to come together and like stop giving this guy talent. I don't know what to do. But number one is Al Dope Man. This team has no holes. Its only holes were tight end, and he upgrades that position. Now he acquires another wide receiver to alternate with Jamison Crowder at flex. I mean, once he gets CMC back, it's not looking good for us.
Does this GM go for his fourth?
I sure hope not. But trades like that are what's going to make it happen.
Yeah, it's disappointing to see people keep loading him up, but we know what we're working with. I could have shown some other pictures, but I'll just keep it at that. So let's get on to number two. Who's number two on the ranks?
It's Chubby Johnson. It's Chubby Johnson.
Chubby Johnson, overall solid team.
Yeah. I'm pulling it up. Yeah, again, I like this team. Now, the Chubb injury is really hurting him right now. But he has DeAndre Swift, which could be an absolute asset moving forward. I thought before the season began, he would eventually fulfill that starting role and kind of just take over that backfield. It looks like he might be doing that from here on out. So I think moving forward, that's going to be awesome for him. Again, Julio Jones is a beast when he's targeted and catches. He had a monster week last week. I like A.J. Brown. I like this team. It's built for wins. George Kittle, Will Fuller. Will Fuller's going to have those weeks where he puts up 30, 180 yards. So I like this team. I think it week on, week off, it might be a little sketchy, but if everything clicks right, I like this team.
Yeah, tough not to like what Chubby J's got going on over there. So I'll start off with number three. We got I shouldn't say we. Minge has Brucey's time to shine. Took a tough L this week, a heartbreaker. He, in all reality, maybe should have taken this one home, but he could be at 5-1. Another solid team. We like what he's doing. Bucky knows that he's got an eye for talent. And
again, he runs the football well. He just added a veteran presence in the toe. The running backs are just top notch, top tier.
Yep.
Derrick Henry's going to run like a madman at some point, like during this year. So last week was a little taste. I think he's going to keep it going.
Yep. And so, who do you have at number 4, man? Who's number 4?
Midge,
in
you
the
look
ranks?
lost over there. What's up, dude?
Just scanning rosters, Number 4, I got Gamber Photo. Not the best record. What did they lose one recently, or did they win the last one?
He's on a
Gamber
2-game
Photo.
win streak, I believe.
I told you,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
let this team get hot. The best
Yep.
0-4
What I'm
team I've ever
saying.
seen, and he's just
They're loaded.
Fire
They're
back.
loaded with talent.
and he
Once
has
they get,
Jay Vegas this week. I mean,
yeah,
know?
that's a dub. Once they get Dalvin Cook back, this team has Dalvin Cook, Kareem Hunt, and Ronald Jones at running back, and they can stick any one of them at the flex and get T. Higgins out of there, and that lineup is up there with the dope man.
yeah, I think Ronald Jones has been a
Solid
very
squad.
pleasant surprise.
Has
Like
been.
I thought he would be good, but he's showing flashes of just being a beast. Last week was a little taste. I like him moving forward too.
Yep. Who we got at number 5, Geff?
Number 5, we have Uncle Tony, the VP himself, a very generous spot in the rankings, I would say. I think you would agree with that.
Very
at
fair,
number
in my
5.
opinion.
Fair, maybe. Generous for sure. Sitting at 3-3. A big trade this week. A big trade. He sends out his top tier talent, Devontae, in return for Josh Jacobs. I think what we've been saying in these ranks started to get in his head a little bit that you got to run the football. I think I moved markets with my words, and I think I did this in this trade. He went out looking for talent, and he got it. Josh Jacobs is no slouch by any means, but I'm just surprised he gave up the Rodgers to Devontae Adams stack right there.
I mean, it's a we've always said, what do you do? Sell high, buy low, and I think he sold low on Devontae, but I mean, Josh Jacobs isn't a slouch, so I think he'll perform.
Yeah, I mean, he still has Amari Cooper and Keenan Allen at receiver, so
That's why I
yeah,
could
he
afford to
gave
do
up.
the trade. Like I have talent at
Speak your
wide
piece.
receiver.
Let's hear it.
I'm just saying, like, not everyone has 2 top 10 wide receivers that they can just plug in there. Like, I had 3 at the time, so I got to balance my team out. And now I have Josh Jacobs and Joe Mixon, and I think they're going to lead me all the way.
Now,
maybe.
you're known as mediocre Mitch. How do you feel about your team this year moving forward?
I mean, last year's entrance into the semifinals, I didn't think that was mediocre. I mean, it's not where I wanted to be, but
well, the lights were too
I'm
bright
making,
for you at the end of the day.
A little, but like I'm making progress every year, and I think this year maybe a championship appearance, maybe a ring. You never know.
Wow. Okay. So high hopes. I also agree. I think you're making really good progress, and I think I like your team. There's no denying it.
The league would love to see that. It'd be
it would be good. It would be good for everyone involved.
How about Gronk? Coming back with a touchdown, looking like his old self.
Yeah, but I just I
It's
think
just
the
all
tight
coming
end,
together.
the tight end position this year is a mess. So
It
who
is.
knows?
It is.
But
I agree with that.
No, that it did end up. It was at first I was making a little, dig at you because Gronk was basically a waiver wire pickup, but.
Oh yeah, I regretted the trade immediately after I did it. I don't know what I was thinking, and then it kind of ended up working out. So
yeah, it did. All right, so let's move on to number 6.
Cole Gronk.
Cole Gronk at number 6.
5-1.
Yeah,
5-1. Disrespected in the ranks.
It's all right. I understand it.
Like a Chicago Bears 5-1.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's like there, but it's like not.
The points for, he's low on the points for. Oh no, he's number 1 on the points. Scored the most points in the league. So I understand the rankings. It makes sense that you have him at 6. It's just.
I'm just looking at current rosters, not points that were scored previously.
Okay.
I see a lot of players. Jimmy Robb hasn't looked the same. I see an injured Jonnu Smith.
What was Jimmy Robinson a little flash in the pan a little bit? Like he just.
I'm starting to think,
don't love that offense.
But the problem is Jimmy Robb's number 2, and he's putting up 10, 15 points as number 2 running back. I got Kamara in there. Listen, I don't need to defend my ranking. I know where I stand, and I'm not going to panic.
How do you feel about your wide receivers?
My wide receivers, why wouldn't I feel good? Why wouldn't I not feel good about them?
I see you have faith in Boyd.
And Tyler Boyd.
I have 4 guys who are ranked 10 to 20 range right now. I mean.
Oh, because that wins games.
Again, what wins championships? What wins games? It's running
Not
backs,
scoring,
and I'm loaded at running back. And
now, Now, Michael Thomas might be back this week. Could hurt Kamara's value. Something to think about.
I mean, I think it'll only help him. It'll free up some space for him in the middle of the field.
A lot of
Hopefully it
mouths to
opens up the running
feed. A
game.
lot of mouths to feed in New
Well, really,
Orleans.
it's just Mikey T and Kamara. And Minge is struggling.
Traquan Smith,
I don't
Manny
think
Sanders,
Minge can't even hear what we're saying. So
Taysom Hill.
let's move.
First time Zoom guy.
It's a disrespectful ranking at number 6, but you know, I'm not gonna. Beggars can't be choosers. I know where I stand in my rankings, and
so you know your truths.
I know my truths. I do. So let's hit number 7.
I just see a flawed 5-1. Number 7, we're gonna go with KK Watt. KK Watt's got a decent squad. I mean, when did he pick up Justin Jackson? That's gonna be good for him, just because
he threw a
looks
little primetime piece at him, which I'm actually surprised, but
it
because
saved
I
his
thought
ass,
Josh
but
Kelly was taking over.
so did I.
Looks
But
like it.
that's gonna save his ass, because he was starting James White, and like that's
Tough.
not gonna
Patriots
work.
running back, you want no piece of.
But he is
Yeah, they said
the number 2 running back, right?
no. He's been getting like more love lately.
No.
Oh.
James Watt was his number. Who's his number 1 running back?
Zeke.
Oh, Zeke. Zeke.
Right. So I mean, I trust both of those guys as number 2 guys. Zeke's consistent 20. He's not really going to give you more than that. He just doesn't have the.
I mean,
less
than 20.
I mean, I'm sorry, but
No,
did you watch
Zeke-
last week's game? He was coughing up the ball left and right.
Yeah,
Okay,
but it happens every now and then.
That's
Something to think about.
misnomer.
Something to think about, KK Watt. You might want to move him. Minge, you're making a lot of noise over there.
Sorry about that.
I do like KK Watt where he's at. He's low in points for, but I think it's overall like a solid starting lineup. His depth is a little iffy, but yeah.
I think he has some tough matchups this week. So tough matchup against the VP. So I'm gonna highlight that as my game of the week.
That could be a game of the week. I know there's a lot of trash talking going in back and forth. Minge, do you have anything to speak your piece to?
I mean, I'm not worried about Justin Jackson. I can tell you that. This is like such a bland roster. It really doesn't scare me. Like Allen Robinson, Robert Woods, like these aren't like marquee names. These are guys that are gonna get you like 18 points. You know?
Yeah, maybe.
They're not flashy guys. He'll put up.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Low ceiling, high floor guys, and that doesn't scare me. I think Oklahoma is gonna come up big.
Talk your shit, Minge. I love that.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Who we got number 9? Or are we at 8? Where are we at?
I think we're at 8.
We're at 8.
Yeah.
So it was
fucking Ukraine train coming in number 8, dude. All right. He had a pretty big week last week against.
He's moved up a little bit. Was he at 10?
I think it was 10. Maybe it was in the 9, maybe. But nice win for him against Team Horror last week. You know, nothing really to write home about. Kind of just like let's get in and let's get out kind of victory.
A walk in the park kind of.
Yeah, walk in the park. And I think I've said this before. Good receivers. I don't love his running backs. I think Gurley, you just don't know in that offense. I think he's washed. I heard that knee's bone on bone. David Johnson, he has a really good matchup this week against Green Bay, but I just don't like David Johnson this year. I love his wide receivers are awesome. Lockett and Michael Thomas if he plays. I don't know. Hunter Henry, we already talked about the tight ends. Brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, I like this team, and again, I think he likes his projected points week in and week out, but we'll see. I don't think the team has the depth, and that's my piece on it.
Minge?
Yeah, I just don't like this team's running backs. Like, I know he doesn't like him either. Like, it's just like the most average group of running backs, like that are going to get you 15 points a game, but never anything more than that. I don't know if he has David Montgomery in his flex because he's like trying to trade him, but like I don't know why he's not
show like, oh, he's a starter.
Yeah, exactly.
Love that.
Or like I think you should have Robbie Anderson or even like Brandon Cooks in there at flex, just so.
To your point, I think it's more of a for show thing.
Okay, that's what I thought too.
But, yeah, and I'll give him this. He is always active on the trade market. He likes to make deals and then back out. He's got
coldest feet in America.
You can pitch He can cut diamonds with those feet. It's I don't bother making deals with Ukraine Train because I know what's going to happen. He just second guesses himself, and as a general manager, I second guess. You're not going to win shifts when you're second guessing yourself. So I like the he's just got steady eddies, but it's not going to win you much. I'd put him a lot lower. I maybe put him 10, 11, but that's just what I think. He's and it's also a tough division he's working in too.
I mean, he is the bottom of the totem pole in that division.
Yeah, always has been, always will be. All right, so let's move to number 9. Who do we got at number 9? We got is it JB?
JB and the CFNs, yeah. Minge, why do you have this team in this spot? I know why I do. I think he has a brutal bye week this week, and he's going up against a 3-time. No shot in hell, but I also said that against Desert last week. So
that sure doesn't help him, but like this team has been decimated by injuries, losing Dak, and then losing Miles Sanders.
Eckler.
Eckler, even Jalen Reagor, like he's just been decimated. He has to start Jamal Williams and Boston Scott this week, and like no one wants to be in that situation. He's getting killed with Myles Gaskin on the bench. Then like he's got these guys like Brian Hill and Naeem Hines on his bench just ready to go. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad.
Dude, talk about a dumpster fire.
Yeah. Another guy who's consistently throwing low ball trades out there and hoping something sticks, but nothing ever will. Tough look for JB, but hopefully some of those guys can get healthy. Mr. Peckler and Booby Sanders, he likes the body parts. So hope and pray, but we'll see what happens with JB. So let's move to 10. Who we got at 10, Geff?
We have Jay Vegas, Devil Dogs. Recent trade went down today with another GM.
Yeah, so hold on a second.
Talk about that?
Yeah, I was gonna say Minge had a couple choice words for the Devil Dogs. What were you saying, Minge, earlier?
Oh, well, I thought he made a great swap in the beginning of the week with trade Josh Jacobs for Devontae Adams. I think that helps both sides. But he kind of left himself a hole with like Adrian Peterson was going to be his running back, and DeAndre Swift looks like he's taking over the Detroit backfield. So then I guess he goes out and shops his like third wide receiver and comes back with Le'Veon Bell. I just don't see that like filling the hole. I don't think they're gonna work him in, but I don't think he's getting more than 10 carries a week. I just can't see it.
You want to say your piece on Mike Williams?
Mike Williams. Can't forget it. It seems like this guy every year will have that one breakout game where he has 12 catches, 150 yards, and like 2 touchdowns, and then he never does it again. So I feel like this happens every year, and Shane either had him on his team and then puts him in his lineup or like trades for him. So I don't know.
Did he take the bait, or was it the art of the deal by the 3-time?
I mean, he got bamboozled. I don't know what to say. Like, you got to be better. You got to be smarter. I don't know.
And I'll give him. So I was talking to him on and off this week. He's been up in the mountain ranges. He was telling me he was almost 2 miles above sea level. Maybe he's not breathing right. Maybe he's not getting enough oxygen and carbon dioxide. He's not thinking right. Maybe his brain's not there right now. People are saying there's too many explosions going on. Maybe there's some too many nukes going off. I don't know what they're doing, shooting missiles in the mountain ranges, training for something. Is it CTE? He played quarterback. He was taking big hits. He's a small guy, and you just worry about guys of that stature. And I don't know. Again, when you're working with a con artist and a bamboozler, it's tough to get something fair done, and it seems like he got bamboozled.
But on a real note, phenomenal wide receivers, not great running backs, so we know what wins championships. You got to run the ball.
So we're on to numero 11, and I don't have number. Who's got number 11?
It's Gordon.
Gordo. Hey, big win. He had a big win.
Yeah. Hey, hats off to him. Caught me on a bad week. But I mean, overall, you just can't deny the lack of talent on this team.
Yeah, it's pretty upsetting. Early on, I thought he was going to be all right, but when Beef Quads goes down, he's dealing with a lot of injuries. You want to talk about injury riddled squad? I mean, and also Lamar just hasn't been himself. It's a little disappointing, but he's still sitting 500. He's manning the ship all right, and it's a porous division too. They got it's pretty average out there in the Central.
And I can't speak enough about how disappointing Odell has been this year, other than that one big week. He's just not an elite fantasy option anymore in the Browns offense.
No.
It's sad to see, and I feel
I feel like you had to know that was coming though, like during draft. Like last year, he wasn't the same either. I don't know why he expected him to be better this year. I guess he thought Baker would take a step forward, but I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I think he made a good trade though, like getting rid of Keenan Allen and getting Melvin Gordon and DJ Chark. Like that, like gave him like.
But I mean,
talent.
Melvin Gordon's out here getting blasted on a week.
That killed him. That killed him after that. So.
And you had to respect the statement made from their general manager, Mr. Dez. He
he
spoke up
in house.
Yeah, he didn't want to make it too public. He noted it. He said it's gonna be dealt with inside the locker room. I'm sure they're having talks. I'm sure they're gonna get some counseling going on in there. Down in Utila, it gets a little dicey. I think Minge has some experience down there. There's a lot of alcohol that flows. A lot of alcohol that's floating around. So, is that the best situation for Melvin to be in? I don't know. The rum train's always running.
Is he going to play this week, Melvin Gordon? I don't see like a designation for him. He says he's healthy.
I think he's supposed to play.
Yeah.
Like, is there delay on the suspension, or he might just be good?
I think he's going to pay his fine and keep it moving.
Yeah, he'll be all right. All right, Gordo, we like you, but not too much. All right, let's hit number 12. I mean, he could be number 24 for all we know. I don't know where he's at. Team Whore.
I mean, his one shining piece is who knows?
It looks like his team is coming together a little bit. I see there's a glimmer of hope. I don't know if he'll go defeated. Hopefully he sneaks up on somebody. Like last week, he had a decent week with Deshaun. Deshaun looks like he's going to start playing well without B.O.B. Old Bobby out there. Hopefully they can sneak somebody and not go winless. If not, there's we were talking about last week. You think there should be a punishment for somebody who goes defeated?
Oh, I've always been for the punishment. I think it makes the league more fun. But I actually think Team Whore gets his first win this week.
Ooh,
prediction. He goes up against Brucey, who's like decimated with buys. He's got.
Do you think this is the week he sneaks one in?
Yeah, he's got Thielen as a buy, Ty as a buy, Marquise. Like he doesn't even have a wide receiver to plug in right now, and he's starting AJ Green. Yeah, and like his team is like playing decent right now. This is the best his team's gonna be because Philip Lindsay, like after this, he's gonna start losing playing time drastically. But Diggs is good. CeeDee Lamb's been impressive, so I think this is a week.
It very well could be, and I'm hoping for it. But I'd also like to see him sniff a lot of jock straps or something along those lines.
Yeah, I just don't see it.
All right, so that basically wraps it up for week 7 power rankings from the Young Goodman Brown. Any last statements from the boys?
No, I think everything's going pretty much as people would thought. The teams that are going to be there, and the bottom feeders are going to just eat off the bottom, dude. Eat the little barnacles off the bottom. So I think it's going as expected this season.
I agree. Everything's par for the course. I'm 3-3, right where I should be. Going for a late push here. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, thanks for joining us, Minge. As always, the pleasure's ours. We'll talk to you again.